Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Now today we're going to have a pairing video of an absolutely awesome baboon spider, and that is the Ceratogyrus meridionalis. Now we've got an adult female here and we've had her for some time. We did pair her once before and we had a really good pairing, and then she molted out. So we've been desperate to try and do this again. We managed to get a male a little while back, and we've just been waiting really because she has got a ravenous appetite. So we've been trying to fill her up a little bit, but we've noticed a difference in the shape of her abdomen. So hopefully she's producing eggs. That's what we're hoping. So we are going to try and pair her today and see how it goes. Right then, so without further ado, let's crack on and get these two lovebirds together. I'll see you in a moment. Well, here we have our Ceratogyrus meridionalis, and this is in fact the Zimbabwe Grey, a very apt name. As you can see now, our male is just coming into the picture now. We're just gently moving him in. I always introduce the males in the furthest point in the enclosure, away from our female. And this gives him time to get himself adjusted. Also as well, some males don't come out of the box as calmly as this one did. Some of them absolutely fly out. They're very flighty and very nervous. And so sometimes they come out of the box like a rocket. And the last thing you want to do is have your male run straight into your female. This is almost guaranteed doomed for the male if this happens. So it's important that we try and maintain and get our male in a nice steady condition. Now this is a nice close-up now of our female, and she is in absolutely splendid condition. Notice that nice big robust abdomen on her. I am pretty certain she is full of eggs. She has swelled up a little bit, so we're hoping that she is ready. You can see where they get the name, the Zimbabwe Grey. Look at that smoky grey on them legs. Absolutely gorgeous spider. These really are exquisite. Many of the baboon spiders are really, I don't know, I think they're underestimated. They really have the most gorgeous colouring. Now there's our male, and you can see he's an entirely different build. And there he is, he's shaking away, he's vibrating. Look at that. That vibration is going on through his body, and that is literally leaving his body and going out through his toes into that webbing that he's standing on. And I think it is just an amazing thing that we just do not understand how sensitive these spiders really are. When you consider that throbbing that he's doing, she has felt that all the way over there. And you see now she's lifted herself up off the floor. He's moving around a little bit. Now she has already drummed once that we didn't see because she was off camera, but she drummed once. There she goes again, look at that. This is what we want to see from our females. This is the kind of reaction. Look at that smoky grey colour of her. She looks like a bandit with an eye mask. Now our male is still throbbing away, you see that? We know so little about how these guys actually communicate, and it would just be so fantastic if we could just pop into Google Translate and it could tell us exactly what they were saying. Now look at that, our female is very full on at the moment. She's in a very excitable stage, and our male, he's like, oh no, she's a little bit too much for me at the moment. So he's just doubled out. He's gone back to the top of the enclosure. You notice it's like walking a tightrope. We had contact there. So that's the second time they've touched now, and she is very, very keen to pursue him, and he's very keen to keep one step in front of her. But you'll notice from his demeanour, the way he's behaving, he's not particularly nervous. He's just working out what's the best way to tackle this girl. And look at her, she is super excited. She's a very confident female. Now here's our male, and he really is quite a handsome little chap in his own right. You notice he's built for speed. She is a little bit more built for comfort. You know, he's very, look, you can see the tibial hooks there very clearly on that leg. You see the hook on the blue piece of the handle there. See it outlined. He's still up there vibrating, he's sending them signals. Now it's quite, you notice how he's literally walking like a tightrope. Here we go, contact again. Straight in there like a bull in a china shop, look at that. Now these are the sort of things that we want to be looking for now. We've seen absolutely no aggression from our female at all. She could have grabbed him a number of times now. And we've seen none of that type of aggression. She is just more than willing to accept his advances. Look at, we've got to admire the strength in those back legs. He was literally hanging in the air by two back legs. Formidable things. These arachnids just never fail to amaze. They are surely built to survive. Now you'll notice that we've got our baboon here. She is in a rub, in one of the really useful rubs, and I think this one is I think these are 5 litre boxes, and I found that the baboons do really, really well, as do the brackies. They do well in these boxes, and it's because they sort of dry out quite easily. You know, they're not airtight in any way. They've got a good airflow, and our baboons tend to web them up really well. As you can see there, she's just webbed the whole of the floor. There was some cork bark to give her a hide and everything. That just got webbed over. She's not interested in hiding away. This girl sits out all the time. So these boxes have proved to be really, really good as maintenance boxes to help keep and maintain these spiders. So we're now going to try pairing them and see if, you know, how they look after their egg sacs in these boxes. See if they're as equally good at that as they are as a maintenance box. But time will tell. Now we've got really good contact here. You know, it's our male. He's staying in the game a little bit more now. You notice he's keeping them pedipalps. It's very difficult with him flailing around on the top to work out exactly what it is he's trying to say to her. But we can see there that he's more committed now. You notice he's not backing off. He's actually turning her around a little bit. And you see how she's become a little bit more subtle. So it's almost like she's worked out that this full-on flirting is a little bit intimidating for him. So she's calmed it down a little bit. Here we go. You notice how she's positioning herself. We often find that our male spiders do like to have the upper ground. They like to be a little bit higher than the females on many occasions. But sometimes this causes problems in itself. Just purely because our male has a bit of a job, actually, sort of doing the deed and maintaining his position. Now you'll notice that we've allowed this male full run. You know, we've not curtailed his movements at all. He goes where he wants to go, and it's so important that we allow our spiders the freedom to be able to move around like this. One, it gives them confidence, and our male is all about confidence. He needs to feel confident. Now, the females very rarely ever leave the enclosure that they're in. Occasionally they'll climb out, have a little walk about, but then they normally go straight back. They don't normally want to be too far away from where they are, which is their security. That's where they feel secure. And again, this is another important thing, making our female feel secure, because if she's secure, she will be in a much better frame of mind. If she's nervous in any way or upset, then our male is, he's going to be struggling from the very, very beginning. So it's important that we make sure that our spiders feel on their top game, as it were. They need to be relaxed. And you can see there that this male has done a number of laps around the top of the enclosure. He's been all around it. And it's interesting to see that they have these little points where they actually meet up. There we go, our female now, look at that. Off she goes. You notice she's not quite as adept at walking the edge as our male is, and this is due to her size. That big old abdomen is quite the counterbalance. Now we can see there that she's not gone particularly far. She knows he's out there somewhere. Now it's so interesting to think that, does she know that he's the other side of the box all the time? And she is just having a little wander. Here he comes. Look, you can just see his shadow in the side there. Because quite often when we feed our spiders, they will see a roach from quite some distance, or they feel the vibration and they react to it. And she can see him clearly. So are they just sort of like playing the courting game? I don't believe that they lose touch of one another. Even when they're walking in opposite directions, I think they are still incommunicado with each other. Here we go, we touch there. Again, straight into contact. You notice now she is more in the centre of the enclosure. So this should, in theory, give him the room to get down to the floor. There you go, he's on the floor now. And we've gone straight in. So now he's positioning himself. There you go, we have insemination straight away. You notice the change in her body posture. She has gone literally stiff, directly upright. He is now inseminating as we speak. Unfortunately, we can't quite see the pedipalp from our angle, but he is inseminating with one pedipalp. So what we try and do now is we keep an eye on the other pedipalp, and we see now like he's done. Look at that. Now you notice the way he backed off very, very, very slightly. He held her up, kept her at literally at leg's length, and then back to eye. Very, very gently. What a smooth operator. That was probably one of the smoothest baboon pairings I have ever seen. And look at her. She is completely satisfied. She is one happy lady. Very, very calm. Look at how relaxed she is now. She's just gathering her thoughts. She's probably thinking the same as us. He was one smooth dude. Very impressive from our little chap there. And you can see now how everything just literally calms down. It almost comes to a standstill. You notice how she's walking now. Very, very calm. Look at that. She is. I think she's on cloud 9. She's one happy lady. Well done, guys. Well, what did you think? There was a couple of times there she was full on. She was so receptive. I mean, really, really receptive. She was drumming away, and at one point there at the beginning, her drumming almost spooked him. He was like, whoa, what's going on? And it took him a little while to sort of get himself together. You notice he done a few laps around the enclosure there. We've got her in this rub. These seem to work really well for these sort of spiders. They're not much to look at, but in terms of like breeding and what have you, these do work out rather nicely. And obviously as well, we can stack these so we can keep a few together. Now, as we said, hopefully she is now producing eggs, and with any luck, the way she responded, I am sure we're in with a really good shout as for a successful outcome to this pairing. So as you would have seen there, he paired with her. Once they got it on, it was very quick. It didn't take them long. It's just that initial reaction, the initial actual getting to know each other took a little bit of time. But once he actually made contact and started the work, it didn't take very long at all, and he'd inseminated her. So all being well, we will now give him a rest until he makes a new sperm web. When you're pairing your spiders like this and you see a male and he's actually done the deed, it's very important that you wait for him to make another sperm web before you reintroduce him. There's no point risking his life if he's not fully loaded. So we will wait for him to produce another sperm web, and then we will try him one more time. And then hopefully he'll survive that. And if he does, he will then go on to, a new home, and hopefully another pairing. Someone else will be in need of him, I am sure. Now, this is quite often, we are always on the lookout for male spiders. And, today is no exception. We are always on the lookout for stuff. We've got quite a few subadult spiders that are in the wings. And I'm thinking what we might do very soon is do a video on what we do with our males and how we take care of them. We did do one a long time ago, a couple of years ago, but maybe it'd be worth refreshing. Leaving, put it down in the comments. If you'd like to see how we look after our males, put it down in the comments, and we'll see what we can do. But that was a lovely, successful pairing. And let's hope he hurries up, gets another sperm web done, and we can try him again and see what happens. And then it will just be fingers crossed and the waiting game. And we'll see what goes on for that. Right then. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Pretty quick video this time. Didn't take too long. But I'm hoping we got some really, really cool footage. And you guys, enjoy the footage that we've actually managed to achieve. Some lovely close-ups. These really are a beautiful spider. So, right then, without further ado, don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you all soon, guys.